it starts with 16.1 overhead walking lunges, bar-facing burpees, and chest-to-bar pull-ups for 20 minutes.
Wow, you know, the fact that we're starting off with that overhead walking lunge, we start right away with the nerves, and man, what a shot to the gut right away. You not only have to support the weight, but you got to keep your balance, and when you got those jittery nerves, you don't have anywhere to really kind of let those bleed out a little bit. I think that this is going to be something, that lunge back and forth has to be let me just take it smooth and calm across, don't do anything crazy, and wow, then we got burpees and pull-ups. So what are you going to do?
The floor is divided up into 5-foot sections. Each 5-foot section counts as a repetition. There's 26 total reps get you through a round. 2 rounds would be 52, 3 is 78, and after that my math gets fuzzy. I'll let you do that at home. Both CHYNA CHO and EMYLY ABBOTT are done with their first set of 8 burpees. They'll lunge back down the floor for 8 chest-to-bar pull-ups. Keep an eye on the top of the screen. The reps of the leader will be in a blue box. EMYLY ABBOTT right now the leader, but not by much. The athlete in red will be the athlete who is in second place, and the reps that they are trailing will be listed in the white box next to their name. All 8 are done, so 1 round in the books for both EMYLY ABBOTT and CHYNA CHO. Long workout here, 20 minutes. It's the longest workout we've ever had in the open. The other one that was 20 minutes was 11.5, and that was power cleans, toes to bar, and wall balls.
So he said it earlier, that transition across the floor needs to be smooth, calm, consistent. The reason that's going to be important is because not only in this workout we have the 3 movements, but there's a lot of time that can bleed away in the transitions between your lunge to your burpee, your lunge to your pull-ups, and then back again. They need to make sure that they're moving smooth. They don't miss any reps on those lunges. They have to make sure they stand up all the way, because that right there could dock them 5 seconds. And I really think that these women are going to stay head-to-head at least until we get into that 10, 12-minute range, and then we might see a little bit of jostling.
When you look at a 20-minute workout, let's take Cindy for example, 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats for 20 minutes. First couple minutes, that feels great, but you really make your money when you're in 7 to 15.
Yeah, but I think both these women, they're experienced enough, they've played with these workouts enough, just workouts in general, that they understand that pace. I really am impressed to see how mellow they're taking that lunge. You know, that weight's not super heavy for these athletes. However, it's over time it can get really nasty.
There are 2 other athletes on the floor. That is Joanna Prada-Pacheco. This is her very first open workout ever. So good on her for having the guts to get out here and do this. She's doing the scaled option, which is going to be a front rack lunge. You know,
and you got to hand it to her. We talk to people all the time. They're afraid to just try CrossFit in general. Here she is in her first year in front of this crowd, right next to some of the best athletes in the world. And she's out here doing it, and that's CrossFit right there. You know, get out of your comfort zone, be comfortable with the uncomfortable, and then put it down and have some fun.
And if her judge looks familiar, that's because that's Bob Harper in the black shirt. He's the host of NBC's Biggest Loser. He's a celebrity guest judge here, and Bob took his role really seriously. I talked to him yesterday. He's taken the judge's course. He's studied up. He's talked to Adrian Bosman, our head judge, so he's just not here to mess around. He's taking this very, very seriously.
You know, and as an athlete myself, I would never want to be a judge, because I know how tough that can be when someone says no rep or good rep or whichever. But the fact that Bob is in there and really taking it seriously, that is important, because in CrossFit it's all about standards. We want to make sure that everyone has full range of motion and good reps all the way through the competition.
Scott McCoy is the other athlete on the floor, along with CHYNA CHO, EMYLY ABBOTT, and Joanna Prada-Pacheco. He's 44 years old. He's been doing CrossFit for 3.5 years. He's lost about 50 pounds, and I talked to him earlier, and that guy was nervous. But he looks like he's settled in here. He's now getting ready to complete his 2nd round.
You know, I think the fact that he went prescribed, like, I can't say enough good things about that. I mean, I know going prescribed in any CrossFit gym is a really, really big deal. He's fighting through all these, and that's what's important. We need to be able to see people that do things that they don't normally do, that they don't think they can do, and then put it out. And that's exactly what he's doing. So I'm super impressed with Scott. I'm really glad he's going for that. And what? You got your coach, Jason Kleeper, right next to you. How are you supposed to do bad when you got Jason Kleeper yelling at you?
Not a bad guy to be coaching you. McCoy is through 48 reps. Prada-Pacheco is just 5 reps behind him, even though they're doing a different version of the workout. same amount of reps are being counted. McCoy is now done with round number 2. Back to the games athletes. Emily Abbott is closest to you. She has the red hair. CHYNA CHO is behind her. Cho 6th at the CrossFit Games in 2015, and Emily Abbott was 8th, and they are still neck and neck.
So we talked about that 5-minute time, that first 5 minutes. That's where everyone gets moving. And then it's the second and third 5 minutes, and it's like, all right, did I pace correctly? Do I need to bring it down just a little bit? These athletes are very, very skilled in what they do. They've obviously done tons and tons and tons of workouts to know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. But you can see them on the fly trying to adjust. We all have our plan A, but these athletes need to have a plan B, C, and D, just in case things start to go haywire, that they can adjust rapidly.
This is the first time we've had overhead walking lunges in the open, but these athletes have done this movement before. We've seen it at the games. They have experience with that.
Yeah, they do, but it was a lot lighter.
Yes.
And it was a lot.
This is a lot lighter.
This is a lot lighter. And again, we talked about being lulled into some dark places. You really riding that governor's tough. I mean, you're in a race. You have an athlete, and both these athletes have been very close placing-wise in a lot of the competitions they do. Even the weird thing is that, like, when one's good, the other one isn't very good. But look at them gaming each other right now. They know exactly where each other is.
Back across the floor, and now it's once again 8 bar-facing burpees. If for whatever reason they would put that barbell down in the middle of their walking lunge, they would have to go back to the beginning of the nearest 5-foot section. So that could be costly. If you are halfway through a 5-foot section, you grab the bar, you're moving backwards. Getting those unbroken is key for these 2 women.
One of the things I see really smart by Emily Abbott, look how she steps that one leg up closer to the bar, almost like a step-up burpee. What that's allowing her to do is not have to pop her hips up as high, gets her closer to the bar, so she's not wasting as much energy. If you look at CHYNA, she's doing a full jump with both feet, has to get her hips up a lot higher. That's using a lot of energy early in this event.
Emily Abbott done with her 8 bar-facing burpees. She will hoist that barbell back overhead and head back to the pull-up rig, and CHYNA CHO is right next to her.
Man, synchronized lunges, synchronized lunges.
20 minutes total in this workout. We're not even at the halfway point, so these women are close to getting round 5 done. That's Scott McCoy, who is doing this workout as prescribed, 44-year-old programmer from Western Digital. Are you surprised that these women are still going unbroken on the chest to bar pull-ups at this point?
I think that they know that they need to do it at this point. I don't think it's not enough yet where they need to start breaking it up. I think they're going to know when they start getting close to that red line, if they start getting close to failure or it ends up being too much. But something we haven't really talked about is the amount of tension on the shoulders through this workout. Yes, lunges are terrible, and yes, probably tomorrow they're going to have a little sore butt cheeks after this. But the shoulder stability that needs to go into that overhead walking lunge, a lot of flexibility that goes into that overhead walking lunge. We're pressing right here. Up and down on that burpee, and then also the drop in that chest to bar pull-up. So the shoulders are going to take just an absolute abuse over the course of 20 minutes.
Emily Abbott still hanging on to about a 1-rep lead over CHYNA CHO. So these women still close as we approach the 9-minute mark. 20 minutes in this workout. Scott McCoy getting ready to pick up his barbell and lunge it back down the floor. This is a guy who lost a ton of weight, totally transformed his body. And as he said earlier, he would give up all the bonuses that he's gotten with his company to keep CrossFit there because it's had that big of an impact, a positive impact on his life.
That is such an amazing thing. The fact that anyone would say something like that is so incredible. But that just goes to show, if you have healthy, fit employees, they're happy. They want to be there. If you're a fit individual, you're a happy individual. And I mean, talk about a testament to CrossFit and just what NorCal has done with Western Digital is so impressive.
Joanna Prada-Pacheco is on her burpee. She's slightly ahead of Scott McCoy. Now again, she is doing a scaled version of this. The weight is lighter, the lunge is a little bit different, and she's not doing chest to bar pull-up. This is her first open ever. I cannot get over the guts that it took for her to get out here on this stage and do this.
We have people that are afraid to they're afraid to sign up for the Open because they know that they're going to be judged. They know that they're going to have someone right there counting their score. They know that they're going to have people running around, cheering. And man, look at the seat, look at the stage that she just put herself on. That's super impressive.
Past the halfway point. Less than 10 minutes to go now. In 16.1, and Emily Abbott and CHYNA CHO are still neck and neck, but now Cho has to go back, and that's going to open a little bit of a door here for Emily Abbott to open up a lead on these 8-bar facing burpees.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. You need to be diligent about each one of those reps. That amount of time to do that not only wasted energy, but wasted about 8 seconds. That could be costly over the course of the rest of the event.
And if this is your first exposure to the Open, these women, while they are competing against each other here, in the overall scheme of things, they are in different regions, so they are just trying to get themselves into regionals, although you do want to win when you are out on the floor in this setting.
They're athletes. Athletes want to win. They don't compete to lose or to do okay. They all want to win. So, yeah, you know that this is a little tooth and nail right now.
Abbott with about a 2-rep lead on CHYNA CHO, and Emily Abbott is done with her 8-bar facing burpees, and once again, back down the floor towards the pull-up rig, and 8 more chest-to-bar pull-ups. Emily Abbott is a woman who is primarily known for her strength, still is, but much more of a complete athlete now. She's really been working on the gymnastics element to her game, and she was 8th last year, and if she can put that together, she might wind up on the podium.
Yeah, I still wouldn't call her it's tough to say this. I wouldn't say she is an endurance athlete, but she's a grinding athlete. We saw at the games, the sandbag event, that was just strict grunt work. And this is what she's doing. The weights are not heavy enough. The reps are not high enough that it's really putting anyone into any kind of fatigue. It's just, can you get in and grind and grind and grind? And that's what she's doing.
Emily Abbott gets back to her barbell ahead of CHYNA CHO. This is the 8th round for both of these women. Less than 8 minutes to go now in 16.1 from NorCal CrossFit in Santa Clara, California. CHYNA CHO trying to catch up to Emily Abbott as Abbott starts working on another set of 8-bar facing burpees.
So you have to think of the cumulative effect of this workout. If these women get to 10 rounds, which we know they're going to, that's going to be 80 chest-to-bar pull-ups and 80 burpees, as well as walking up and back, lunging back and forth up and down the floor. If they get to 15, that's 120 chest-to-bar pull-ups and 120 bar-facing burpees. That volume is high. And then that's when we get into the grinding effect. How long can they keep grinding? How long can they push? Did they come out too fast and not have enough gas to really push it for that final 3-4 minutes?
CHYNA CHO trying to catch up with Emily Abbott, who is hoisting that 65-pound barbell up over her head and getting to work on another 25-foot lunge down the floor. Remember, every line she crosses, that makes 5 feet. That counts as a rep. If she were to drop the bar right there, she would have to move back to the beginning of that 5-foot section. Abbott to the chalk. 200 total reps down for both Emily Abbott and CHYNA CHO. And now they're both staring at 8 more chest-to-bar pull-ups. Once again, going unbroken is Emily Abbott, as is CHYNA CHO. And we're still neck and neck with about 6 minutes to go in 16.1.
China's really starting to eke her way back up to Emily, but I personally think that Emily, once she had a little bit of that distance, she was able to kind of rest just a touch. We have to see if that ends up being the case or not, but just resting just a little bit. China's the one that's having to push.
Everybody is helping Scott McCoy, including Rory McKernan, just ducked in there to probably just say, keep moving to Scott. And on burpees, they don't have to be pretty. Just fall down, get back up, and jump over.
You make it sound so easy, Sean.
It's not.
You make it sound
I hate
so
these.
easy.
I'd rather have someone kick me in the stomach 5 times than have to do this.
Now, this is coming from my knees talking, but I'm surprised that we don't have none of these athletes right now have a knee sleeve on.
Right.
Note to self, make sure you bring your knee sleeves.
Hey, whatever's going to help you, put it on.
Totally.
I'm a fan. Just about 5 minutes to go now in 16.1, and both Emily Abbott and China Cho are really showing the effects of this workout. Abbott done first with those 8 bar facing burpees onto the barbell, and she gets right to work on that 25-foot lunge. About a 10-foot lead on China Cho, who now has the barbell over her head. Joanna Prada-Pacheco, she's doing those jumping pull-ups. Again, her judge in the black shirt on the left of your screen, that's Bob Harper, the host of NBC's The Biggest Loser and a big CrossFit enthusiast. Joanna's hearing it from the crowd that's behind her. Emily Abbott, meanwhile, back on the chest-to-bar pull-ups. China Cho to the chalk bucket, and Abbott has a chance of getting off this pull-up bar before China Cho registers a rep. Abbott is done. 4 minutes and change left in 16.1, and here comes China Cho as Emily Abbott marching back down the floor. Emily Abbott, in just 1 year, in 2014, she finished 35th at the CrossFit Games. The following year, she found herself in the top 10. She finished in 8th place.
That amount of increase is so impressive. And that's a testament to what work she did to try to get herself, back in the game and fixing all those weaknesses. We hear that all the time, working on your weaknesses, but man, that's a gigantic jump.
Abbott is opening up a bigger lead on China Cho, and Emily Abbott in this latter stage of the workout has moved at a pretty consistent clip on these burpees.
We talked about having that consistency and that pacing. She has not slowed down. I mean, between the first and second round to this round, she's very consistent, and that's perfect on these long events.
Abbott done with 8 more bar-facing burpees. 3 minutes now left to go in this 20-minute workout, and Emily Abbott moving back down the floor and looking like she will set the early mark to beat if she can stay ahead of China Cho for the final 180 seconds.
So impressed with Emily, right? She just looks great, and you can tell it looks like she's getting a little bit fired up. I don't think it's that whole thing where, like, okay, no one thinks I'm going to win, so guess what? I will prove you wrong, and that's that grinding mentality that she has.
Emily Abbott on those 8 chest-to-bar pull-ups. Just got hit with a no rep from Adrienne Bosman. She'll have to crank out 1 more. Makes it count. Now, Scott McCoy, the 44-year-old programmer from Western Digital Company, who's doing this workout as prescribed. You're going to see a lot of athletes. You're going to see a lot more athletes doing this than what Emily Abbott's doing.
Oh, man, Emily's just a machine. But you know what? Scott's doing great. He's hanging in there. He's hanging in there.
2 minutes to go. Scott's getting encouragement. Emily Abbott on the left side of your screen just exited the frame. She is now on her 8 bar-facing burpees. About 90 seconds left in 16.1, and it looks like it's going to be a win for Emily Abbott. Another impressive performance for her. What a year she's been having.
It's so impressed. It blows my mind, but this is what we talked about earlier. Do you have the capacity to pick it up at the end? She is picking it up. Now we have to see if China had enough left in the tank to really kind of turn on. She may be running out of time, but Emily looks spectacular.
2 to go for Emily Abbott, and she will probably make it back to the pull-up bar and complete another round here. 1 to go for Abbott. She's done, and now back to the barbell. 1 minute to go in 16.1. Abbott looking to complete 11 rounds in this workout with 45 seconds to go. She's going to take it as China Cho with 2 burpees left, now 1. And she'll try to make it back to the barbell, to the pull-up bar in just 30 seconds. Abbott trying to knock out 8 more chest-to-bar pull-ups. Every rep will count, and this is the first time she's broken it up. 20 seconds for Emily Abbott. Remember, every 5-foot section she completes counts as a rep. She has 13 seconds to go. Abbott with the bar over her head, now just trying to add whatever she can to her score. That'll count as 1. That's another rep. She might get one more, possibly two. 3 to go. And Emily Abbott will take 16.1 with 290 reps.
You know what? I got to change the moniker on her jersey from muscle to motor. That was impressive.
They all might look different when they start as far as the elite and the regular athletes go, the everyday athletes, but at the end they all look the same.
Bodies on the floor. Bodies on the floor.
Great effort from Scott McCoy. Outstanding effort from Emily Abbott. Joanna Prada-Pacheco. Can't say enough about her coming out here and throwing down. And CHYNA CHO giving these fans a great show here at 16.1. And Joanna Prada-Pacheco, high fives with the crowd. Emily Abbott congratulating Scott McCoy. But Emily Abbott right now, the mark to beat